sticking to transfer news. As you know, Arsenal agreed terms with Manchester City forward on a 5-year deal, Gabriel Jesus. Once again, Arsenal have agreed personal terms with Manchester City forward Gabriel Jesus on a 5-year deal ahead of a proposed £45 million move. All that's needed is a medical and probably dotting I's and crossing T's. As you know, it was reported on Friday evening that the club that had reached an agreement on the transfer, despite previous interest in the player from Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea. Arsenal are now set to land their top target this window. We heard 5 to 6 months of planning went into bringing this done to the club. He had a year left to run on his deal, and hopefully he fits in perfectly, people. So yeah, man, he's known as a precise finisher with underrated attacking movement. He will look to capitalize on the creativity of Arsenal's young attacking nucleus of Gabriel, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, throw Vieira into that as well. So there's that. Once again, you know, on Friday, Arsenal reached an agreement with Manchester City to sign the man in question, people. Apparently, Arsenal are set to intensify efforts to sign Raphinha from Leeds United. Arsenal are set to intensify their efforts to sign winger Raphinha from Leeds next week, which is this week. The Athletic understands. Further conversations are believed to be scheduled with the 25-year-old's reps as the North London club look to secure a deal. There's a sense around the situation and among other teams interested in Raphinha that Arsenal are now firm favourites for this signature. And again, it could be a game of chess. You know, if Barca really want him, then Leeds are putting pressure on. I think Raphinha is to Barca what Telemans is to us, in that they've been linked. Whether they get them is another thing, but they need to get over the red tape and confirm Christensen and Kessié. It seems like they're trying to get Bernardo Silva, Lewandowski, Conde, trying to get De Jong sold. So it seems like there's a lot of business, and it seems like they're waiting for Raphinha to hold out. So I think there's a bit of games, and Arsenal could be driving up interest. My gut tells me we get Jesus and Telemans and we don't get Raphinha. Pause. I hope I'm wrong, of course, but I just feel the man's heart is set on Barcelona. There's got to be a degree of encouragement. One has to wonder what's happening with Di Maria, who apparently is going Juventus now. One has to wonder what's going on with De Jong. Also, what's happening with the contract of Dembele, which, according to whatever report you read, 1 minute he's staying, the next minute he's going. So I hope we push it all the way. But I hope at a point we're able to step away, because Leeds might want more than he's worth, or we might just have to concede defeat and move for another Don. So yeah, man, is what it is. Having already seen one offer rejected by Leeds last week, Arsenal are ready to enhance their proposal in the hope it brings them closer to an agreement with their Premier League counterparts. There is optimism at the Emirates Stadium that they have manoeuvred into a strong position, and it is thought Raphinha is open to a potential move. Chelsea and Tottenham have showed interest in the Brazilian international. Sorry, folks, mouth's getting dry. Appreciative for you lot just letting me cop some water, people. You know, it is talking for time is mad, even when you got a motor mouth like mine. You know, self-aware. Apologies. Yeah, man. Arsenal are ready to enhance their proposal in the hope it brings them closer to an agreement with their Premier League counterparts. As he said, people, there's optimism at the Emirates Stadium that they have manoeuvred into a strong position, and it's thought Raphinha is open to a potential move. Chelsea and Tottenham have shown an interest in the Brazil international, but the former are currently focusing their attention on Raheem Sterling, and the latter's first choice target is Richarlison. So it's us or Barcelona in that regards, people. In terms of Arsenal news as well, just in case if I thought some of you might just want to know what we're doing in pre-season fixtures on the 8th of July, we're playing Nuremberg in Germany. The 16th of July, we obviously going to America. We'll be going to Orlando, but we start off in Baltimore, where we'll be playing Everton. 4 days later, the 20th of July, we're playing Orlando City. 3 days later, we're playing against Chelsea, also in Orlando. We wrap things up July the 30th, ahead of obviously the season starting on the 3rd, 4th, 5th of August, people. Daniel Ballard's move, to Burnley and playing under company has broken down. The Arsenal's defender Daniel Ballard's proposed move to Burnley has broken down. He had been in Burnley for a medical, but his thought terms could not be agreed, people. So we'll have to sell him to somebody else. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Going back over, almost left the studio by mistake, people. Sorry, that would have not been what I was trying to do. I already showed you lot that. Fabrizio Romano has said Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal. Here we go. Personal terms fully agreed with his agent Marcelo Pinati and his two partners. Gabriel Jesus signs until 2027. It's 100% done. Arsenal already agreed 45 million fee with Man City, as revealed on Friday. Edu and Arteta are key for the deal. So yeah, it is what it is. Jesus will travel to London on Tuesday to Wednesday to do his medical and sign pardon me, his deal with Arsenal. There's a sense around the Raphinha, there's a sense around the situation among other teams interested in Raphinha that Arsenal are now firm favourites for his signature, says David Ornstein. Favourites doesn't mean anything, man. You know, did we not on this day, Arsenal fans play Manchester United in the FA Cup final? I could be wrong. In that game, they were probably the favourites to win, and we was getting battered and battered and battered. We won on penalties. We moved forward, didn't it? Again, apparently Raphinha and Deco met up in Ibiza, and they agreed to wait for Barcelona's offer. The club hoped to sign him for a maximum of 50 million. So make of that what you will. Again, just before we get into the Mirrors article, Sports Witness have said player and agent somewhat uneasy after important offer from Arsenal. Coming days will be key. Apparently, Raphinha is still holding off on a transfer to Arsenal as he waits for a move to Barca. The Catalan newspaper say the Brazilian has decided to wait and see whether Barca will make a serious move for him in the coming days. Raphinha is said to have met with his agent Deco in Ibiza to discuss their transfer stance going forward, and both agreed that waiting for a few days is the best plan of action, as this is where you hear with what's happening potentially with Dembele, De Jong, Lynette, and any terms of ingoings and outgoings for Barcelona. According to Sport, Raphinha, or more likely his agent, will try to push Leeds United into lowering his transfer fee to make it easier for Barcelona to sign him. However, doubts are creeping in, and the continued situation around Ousmane Dembele, who has been messing Barca around for a year, doesn't help things. The Sports say Deco and Raphinha are now somewhat uneasy, having received an important offer from Arsenal. The Gunners are said to have made 2 offers to Leeds United, but Mikel Arteta's side don't yet have the players' approval. What happens with Dembele would appear to be key for Raphinha's future. So make of that what you will, folks. Raphinha once again meets up with Deco ahead of Arsenal's imminent enhanced transfer bid, people. So we'll have to see. The player on his future said, I have a contract with Leeds until 2024. My future is in the hands of Deco and Leeds. I have my mind on the national team, on the game, and also on vacation. We need a vacation. I have a contract with Leeds, and this issue is resolved by my manager. When something isn't right, he sends it to me. And this is a man, I swear you left Rennes when they qualified for Europe. So I don't know if you're on different things. So we'll have to see, people. But when you see him in Ibiza, which is in Spain, forgive me if I'm wrong, doesn't fill you with much optimism. So I hope we push this all the way. I wouldn't count my chickens before they hatch. And I do think Arsenal may have to look at other targets as well as pursuing this all the way, people, if that's what they want to do. 270 likes. We must come back 300. Arsenal will make a new offer for Leeds winger Raphinha after their opening 30 million bid was rejected, with the Gunners prepared to pay close to 50 million in the hope of sealing a deal for the in-demand star. Arsenal are ready to escalate their attempts to sign the Leeds forward Raphinha. Their opening bid for the Brazilian fell well short of the White's valuation of 65 million. Barca, Spurs, and Chelsea are also interested. Chelsea, who are his second option, allegedly, but seem to be keen on Raheem Sterling just that bit more. Off topic, but shout out to Davy Brooks. You know, he had a serious battle with cancer, you know, and he's back kicking ball again. So yeah, man, this is just reiterating what we're talking about. Our opening offer was 30 million plus 10 million in add-ons, and we're aiming to get closer to 50. But the longer we take time to get closer to the 65 million pound offer, the more Barca can sort things out, people. Arsenal have agreed a deal with City for Jesus. As you know, we also want centre-back Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. And apparently the Dutch club have pushed his valuation beyond their initial 35 million. Arsenal have interest from Marseille in Nuno Tavares and also Saliba. And it doesn't look like Daniel Ballard will be joining Burnley, but he will probably be leaving, and Leno will obviously be keeping it moving. So we will be recouping some value, but it is what it is. Apparently, Victor Orta, who's the director of football of Leeds, said on people, he said he spoke about bigger clubs going to the smaller clubs and taking their players. Chelsea are still undergoing internal reconstruction after a change in ownership, and that may slow everything down. Right now, I feel like the greats in England are more focused on the home market players. I have a feeling some expensive failed signings from outside England caused a little mental trauma, and all the big guys are reviewing their processes. Players who have already been tested in the Premier League. So, yeah, make of that what you will, people. Arsenal, this is coming out of Goal Brazil. Arsenal closing with Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal wants to move forward in negotiations for Raphinha. The London club has a fresh round of talks scheduled this week with the Brazilian staff. After closing this advance through Raphinha. According to Goal, the London club has a new round of talks with Brazilian staff scheduled for this week. Barcelona have also maintained contacts though Raphinha and the players' preference, but they find themselves with little financial power at the moment. In order to advance, the Catalan club would need to get rid of an athlete who has a high salary. Given this scenario, Arsenal is ahead in the race to sign the Brazilian and will try to accelerate negotiations this week. The intention of the British is to increase the proposal and seek a quick outcome to, if necessary, seek another name in the market. Although Leeds remain, staff believe the club will accept an offer of around £50 million, which is 10 million more than Barca are prepared to pay. As again, Chelsea and Spurs are monitoring negotiations, but have priorities elsewhere in Richarlison and Raheem Sterling, respectively. I don't want to see this done on my screen. Arsenal prepare new bids for Raphinha and Lisandro Martinez, so we've kind of heard that. But yeah, man, I want to skip straight to the Martinez bit. Raphinha is now a priority to Arsenal, who are expected to return with an improved offer once they've tied up the remaining formalities with Jesus. Leeds have already begun looking for replacements with Octavio, Cody Gakpo, and obviously that at Club Brugge as well. Arsenal also remain in dialogue with Dutch champions Ajax over a deal for the 24-year-old defender Martinez. An opening offer understood to be worth an estimated 25 million was rejected 7 days ago. Ajax are not actively looking to sell Martinez, obviously after they've made money on Haller, Gravenberch, and Missouri left for free, but you get the point. There's a sense an offer of 40 million could be enough to get things done. Once again, Tavares has been linked with Atalanta of Italy, Marseille in France, and Sociedad of Spain, who tried to get him before he signed for Arsenal. Arsenal and Spurs have been linked with Memphis Depay, which again, that could be something. And there's probably another one where it's Lynette, Depay, De Jong, Umtiti. There's probably a lot of players. I mean, this one's been being spanned since January. I'm sure Arsenal and Spurs fans ain't got time for that. Apparently, in relation to Hector Bellerin, the imminent final chapter of soap opera with Betis, Atletico, Arsenal, and Bellerin as the protagonist. Wow, there's a lot of reading to be done here. I mean, big up Bellerin for that one there with his personal life, but this must tell you that progress can be made. He has potentially got interest from Roma, Fiorentina, and Juventus, as well as Atletico Madrid and Sevilla. But apparently, his dream is obviously to go and move on and stay at Betis. So hopefully there's something with Bellerin in that regard. Nottingham Forest eye up a move for out of favour Arsenal man Ainsley Maitland-Niles, people. So yeah, go and get that done at 24 years of age. It's time to keep it moving. You've made 100 odd appearances for this football club. You've played in the Premier League. You've won an FA Cup or two and the Community Shield. You've come through the academy. You've become an England international. You can leave with your head held high. Now it's time for you to divorce. Go and make a name for yourself at Nottingham Forest. Unless Arsenal convince this guy to sign a new deal, a new 2-3 year deal, and he goes himself into the shop window, we should be looking to sell. We heard we're doing this £8 million thing where we could have got 20 for him from Everton and Wolves once upon a time, but you snooze, you lose. Once again, Arsenal are monitoring Lisandro Martinez, but the asking price has been raised. In relation to Yuri Telemans, Arsenal have pulled out of a move for Leicester City midfielder Yuri Telemans, according to the Daily Express journalist Ryan Taylor, people. I'm not sure on this. Don't shoot the messenger, but allegedly the man himself said, Ryan Taylor, it's an interesting one. The information I had was similar to others that it's been pulled. I was told not to write about Telemans anymore with Arsenal and that it was very much agent driven and has never been as close as has been suggested, which is strange because all signs were kind of pointing towards Telemans happening with Jesus in the past few weeks. Allegedly, so make of that what you will, folks. In relation to Saliba, there's rumours of a loan move which are wide of the mark. The Arsenal board and Mikel Arteta both count on Saliba as part of the team for next season. Been told the situation could only change in case of a crazy bid. Arsenal trust him and are keen on discussing a new contract. João Felix has said he's staying at Atletico, which he has been linked with Arsenal, City, Chelsea actually, and Spurs. What is this? Apparently, Thomas Partey and Kieran Tierney could be fit for pre-season. That's great, but I mean, I've still got the same article there. I don't know what Sky Sports is saying in relation to us, people. So, yeah, it's the same old in that regard. Shout out Stan Kroenke's team for winning in ice hockey and that. It is what it is. So, yeah, in relation to